All right, welcome back, Bears fans. Claws up and bear down. And as always, thanks for tuning in. We're going to make this one a little bit quicker today, so we're going to get right into it. According to Jay Glazer, who is a reputable source, the Bears have intentions of bringing in Marcedes Lewis, who we have speculated over and over and over again makes the most sense this offseason to bring him back in. I will show you quickly on this video why it makes sense. But there's the Twitter post from up above, a little Sunday scoopage for Bears fans. Marcedes Lewis tells me he's going to Chicago to meet with the team tomorrow with intentions of re-signing there. Barring something unforeseen, this will be Lewis's 19th season as he comes in to help a young quarterback. 19 seasons, unreal. #Bears. And that is the perfect way to describe it. He will be a huge asset for Caleb Williams. We already know from Marcedes Lewis earlier in this offseason that he said he has plenty of gas left in the tank. He feels good, and he would like to keep playing. So this is the quote from him earlier this year. He said, I'm rolling. Lewis said when asked about next year, it's always been mentally for me, and my mental fortitude is something that I lean on and I can hang my hat on. The stuff that I put on film this year is stuff that I can be proud of, and it's crazy because I'll be 40 in May, which he's 40 now. This was before me. But when you watch the film, it doesn't look like it. The Bears thought so and said so this past season. After coming over from Green Bay, Lewis caught only 4 passes for 29 yards and a touchdown in 2023, but Pro Football Focus grades him as the 7th best run blocker among tight ends. He is PFF's 5th greatest tight end overall, and at age 39 still played 332 snaps on offense, as well as 17 on special teams. And I'm going to show you those 332 snaps were primarily in the role of run blocking, but they mixed it up a bit with him, and it's going to be a very big asset for Shane Waldron in this offense. I just want to continue to get better this offseason, Lewis said. I've had the same routine for 15, 16 years, minus a couple things. Sometimes I add some things to my routine, but I'll be ready to go when my number is called. Well, apparently his number has been called. So here's some of the headlines. As you Google it, as you scoop into this is what you'll see when you headline into it. And I want to bring this up. This is something that I created right as the season was ending, where this team stood as the season ended. This is where we were. Now, guys, prepare, because this is what everyone's hyped about the Bears for. This is the big thing this offseason. This is why the Bears are a threat now. Boom. No Reds in there anymore. And if you shift Bates over to guard and you start Coleman Shelton, those are both light blues, so they're both very solid. Davis could be, and in fact I think he should be, but we have no clue right now what's going on in his head. But this team is clearly improved, stacked, and ready to go. So you see the needs that I put on the last one: X receiver, slot receiver, center, guard, tight end, quarterback. Well, those have been addressed. Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, Coleman Shelton, Ryan Bates and Kieran Amagaji's depth, Gerald Everett and Marcedes Lewis, Caleb Williams at quarterback. This team is going places. And from our depth chart that we've been creating throughout the offseason, there was a big X right where Marcedes Lewis is. That's now filled. Yes, I think one of these guys might be great on the practice squad, but Steven Carlson's been there last year. I don't know if any of these guys were screaming. And I think that's probably what the Bears were waiting for, to get through OTAs, minicamp, see if anybody really stood out as a diamond in the rough. But they're probably developmental. So that's why you're going to stash Brennan Bates on the practice squad, see if we can continue to develop him for next year, or maybe we draft a tight end next year as well. But this looks pretty stacked for an offense. It's going to be cut downs from here. And really the only big question on all the ones that you see with pictures, those are the ones that are starter or depth, is really at this point Dante Pettis. Is Colin Johnson, Peter LeBlanc, John Jackson, Freddie Swain, December Webster, is one of them going to knock out Dante Pettis? Or do we carry a 7th wide receiver on the active 53-man roster? But here's where our tight end room stacks up this year now. We've got Cole Kmet locked up for the next 4 years, Gerald Everett for the next 2, and Marcedes Lewis most likely on a 1-year deal. And I'm guessing it's a league minimum, about $1.21 million. I wouldn't be shocked if it's up in the $2 million range. He is valuable for this team. So if it's $2 million, that's not a big deal either. But that leaves us with, after cut downs to 53-man roster, that leaves this current roster projected around $24 million if we're cutting Larry Borum, Jatari Carter, players of that nature. So with that 24 to 22, maybe $20 million, depending on who they cut, who's the big name we're going to go after? There probably is an edge or a defensive interior we're going to target, or maybe Coleman or Connor Williams is still on the radar for the future if we get midseason and need that depth. If Nate Davis isn't working out, Ryan Bates get put at guard, and we don't have really much depth behind Coleman Shelton there at center. But this is what I think you all want to see. This is what makes us so stacked now. Really, the NFC North has really solid tight end rooms. I mean, other than the Packers, I would consider all three of the tight end rooms of the other teams upper half of the league. Top 15 for sure, and the Bears should be easily a top 10. Vikings definitely are top 10. I would say Lions are 2, but I would definitely say we are. If you look at the PFF rank on the far right, they had Marcedes Lewis 5th overall last year. I don't think that, I mean, this is according to their grading. That really is because he was such a good run blocking grader. And you might say, well, what was the big need to bring Marcedes Lewis in? Because Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett are solid pass blockers. Look at P block, 4th column to the right. And they're all very good. Upper 60s is very good grades. But then if you look one more column over run blocking, Marcedes Lewis is among the best in the entire NFL at run blocking. So maybe it tips the hand a little too much when he's in there, but the thing is, he's a solid pass blocker too. So Shane Waldron's going to have tons of options to mix it up with him. Don't be shocked by the drop. I know drops were a big thing I pointed out last year. We don't like drops. But with Marcedes Lewis, I said that in my other video, his is really an anomaly because he had 7 targets. He caught 6 of them, 1 for a touchdown. Remember the touchdown in the end zone? Big dog. That's where Eberflus was calling him Big Dog, and we all loved it. He was wide open, nailed him. He caught 6 of 7 targets. The only one he didn't catch was a drop. Well, out of only 7 targets, and you drop 1 but catch the other 6, that's a 14% drop rate. But that's really limited sample size, so I don't think that's fair. He's had steady hands his whole career, but more importantly, solid blocking grades as well. And, I mean, he's big. 6'6", 267. Cole Kmet, 6'6", 260. Gerald Everett, 6'3", 250. We've got a solid tight end room. Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett both had 88, 89 targets, 600-plus yards, 719 for Cole Kmet. I mean, Gerald Everett is being overlooked. I mean, he really is. He can high point. He gets open. He's got good separation. I mean, this tight end room is definitely top 10, possibly top 5. I know that's Bears homerism in me saying that part, but it's definitely a top 10 room now. And this is a quality signing. PFF grade for Marcedes Lewis, 77.3 last year, 73.7 for Cole Kmet, 65.6 for Gerald Everett. This room is stacked. So I like it. Overall, great signing. We speculated a ton. It's come to fruition. It's what made sense, especially with a young rookie quarterback that can use that solid blocking, both run blocking and pass blocking, something Caleb Williams didn't have in college. When you watch the tape repeatedly, he did not have a solid backfield to help him out. He didn't have a solid line to help him out. He didn't have that protection. Marcedes Lewis is a bodyguard for him. He's definitely a playmaker. He's going to be a bruiser. And if teams think he's in there for one reason, he can exit out on the curl. He can get out on the flat. He can get out through the middle. And he will be wide open just like he was in the touchdown last year. So good, solid move by the Bears. I'm very happy about this. Tomorrow it should be official, barring some crazy setback. It's what's been reported, so we're going to take it to the house, and we're going to love every second of it. This is the Bears tight end room. Tell me what you guys think. Are you excited for this? I think this only bolsters the Bears even more and is a solid, solid move. So with that, until next time, thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button if you don't mind, and bear down.